Hear me out now. Turn it up loud. Coach Delson, Coach Butts. We gon' break it all down. Hear me out.
Welcome back to Hear Me Out with Elzy and Butts, and I am Butts, and we are ready for another episode.
I mean, we always have so many topics to cover, Coach. I don't even know where to start today. But, you know, we're back in practice, and we've been doing a lot of icebreakers and team building activities. And so today, I thought we would start with an icebreaker. I know how much you love them.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's only 3 questions. Don't worry. And if you haven't joined us for this podcast, it's just fun, friends. We keep it real. I think we're relatable, pretty funny. So whatever happens, happens. So our icebreakers. Let's start, Coach. What's one thing that made you laugh this week?
Oh, wow. My brother's dog, Bolo. Bolo came to visit me, and he's a pretty funny guy. So the dog made me laugh this week.
All right. Well, one thing that's made me laugh this week, Jackson, for you guys that do not know, is my son. I was coming home from recruiting, and he told me that he was going to take me out to eat. Now, he picked the restaurant. However, when it was time to pull out his wallet to pay, he gave me a kiss, and he's like, "Mom, I love you so much." He said, maybe I should take you to Wendy's or McDonald's.
Yeah, they do not accept payment, hugs, and kisses at the restaurants. Yeah, he thought about that one once he got the bill.
He thought about spending his money. I love it. All right, Coach. Well, one of the subjects we're going to hit on today, I know everybody's reading about it, watching the news, scrolling through social media, the Nolan Well case.
Okay, so before we dive into that,
Okay,
what happened to my other icebreakers? I was ready.
You're right. I got
I'm ready to
sidetracked.
go. I got 2 more icebreakers.
You are correct. See that this is how our relationship works. I ask the questions. This is par for the course. And then I got sidetracked that quick. But anyway, let me go back to the icebreakers because I'm really ready to dive into the Nolan Wells. But I'm going to go back to the icebreakers. What challenged you this week?
Getting back to working out. I mean, that's a physical challenge, but it was a real challenge because, you know, once you take time off, it is very hard to get the gears back going. So really started back working out, walking, doing my workouts. So yeah, that was a challenge.
But the thing about you, Coach, you'll take off and then you tend to overdo it on your first day back. You might have 4 workouts. On the first day back.
I had 2. I did what I call my prison workout in the morning. You don't need a work membership for it. Push-ups, sit-ups, abs. You know, if you got some dumbbells, you can do some curls. A lot of body weight stuff. And then I walked for about what started off as 3 miles. I think I probably ended up at 4. And then I ran into some neighbors at the pickleball court. So I played a little pickleball, 2 games of pickleball. I went 1 for 1. Not bad since I have not played in a while.
The question is, could you walk today?
Well, that was a bit of a challenge. I will admit that. So getting up in the middle of the night to use the restroom was interesting. Right? So sometimes you got to roll out of the bed, maybe that 1 foot hitting the ground, and then kind of easing your hips into the action, right? I was kind of walking side to side, a little zombie-ish to the bathroom this morning, but listen, I made it. I've loosened up. I got a little bit of a stretch in, so I'm ready to go.
All right. One thing that's challenged me this week is eating protein. My goal is to have 30 grams of protein every
or
meal.
just eating in general? I think you just need to eat, period.
Well, I do eat. I just don't eat as much as you. My portion control
That's fair.
is what normal people would eat. You just eat more. But the protein, we're at that age at perimenopause, and we're supposed to be eating protein, going to bed early, taking our vitamins, all the things. But eating 30 grams of protein, is that hard for anyone else or just me?
It's not hard for me. Not at all. I mean, I probably eat way too much food
Okay,
in
you're on the
general.
other end of the spectrum. That's okay. Let us know. The last icebreaker, one word that describes where you are mentally today.
I would say comfortable. Comfortable in my own skin, in who I am, and the people I'm around, the people in my circle. I am comfortable.
I like that, comfortable. But you always gonna make sure that's gonna happen. That
I am built for comfort.
you
That
are
is
built
true.
for comfort. I would say my word today, it's not intentional, even though that is my go-to.
I am clapping.
Ambitious is my
Okay.
word of the day. I have so many projects that I want to fulfill. So ambitious. I'm goal oriented. I want to check things off my
I like
list,
it.
but I have things that I want to um, just conquer before the summer's over. So
I like it.
ambitious. Hear me out, listeners. What's one word that describes you all today? Where are you mentally? Because it's always important to do a mental check in with yourself and others. Check on other people. Now, we get to the segment that I've been waiting to get to, the Nolan Well case.
That's a big one. That's a
It's a
big
big
one
one.
right now.
It's a big one. And I have to admit, I am one of those people that I'm in a rabbit hole right now. I can't get enough of it. Even though I say every night, I'm not going to scroll on social media to see what people are saying, see what they found, what they're doing. I'm infatuated with the case.
It is. I think you are in the same headspace as everyone else in the country right now. No matter what side of the fence you're on with this one, it is so interesting. I'll use that word for it. It is very interesting to me how one person, an individual, or a group of people can see and hear the same exact things, yet walk away with something totally different. The new thing is the tapes that they've released. Well, I don't know. I know what I'm hearing, right? There's a lot going on there. If you don't walk away having more questions about what happened to this young man and what people know, I definitely think, obviously, I don't have evidence in front of me of the case, but based on what I know, based on what I've seen so far, based on what I know from about human beings and people, I think there is definitely information that the folks that were with him know that they're not telling 100%, just based on what I've seen so far.
So, what emotions did this story stir up for you?
Um, Sadness, anger, um, a sense of or a lack there of humanity. And when I talk about that, I talk about the responses of other people to the story. Um, and just overall frustration
Yeah.
because something is just not right at all. None of the things add up. And so there's a bit of confusion as well.
I mean, I have so many emotions bottled up
Yeah.
that I don't even know where to start. When I first was watching the story on the news. In my mind, because I have a son of color, I'm like, how did everybody come home? And he didn't make it. But his phone came back.
Right.
But he didn't make it. See, I'm old school. Whoever you left with, you should come back with.
100%. 100%.
We're not leaving you to talk to your friend or someone you met. No, you came with us. You are leaving with us. So then I started thinking, how would I respond if I was the mother who got the call? Now, I don't condone any violence.
We
at
don't
all.
like to put that disclaimer out.
I do not. I am a...
The Hear Me Out podcast with Elzy and Butts does not. And
We do not condone any violence.
in any way.
In any way. However, in my mind, I was thinking, if I were to get that call and no one could tell me any answers, there's going to be some problems.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
There's going to be some
especially
problems.
Considering the circumstances, how it all happened, the excuses. Like, even if I was with a set of friends, and you get, sometimes people aren't, they may not be responsive to you, right? They may say, I'm going to do what I want to do and I'm going to stay. But if I know the parents, right? If you were with me and you just refused to leave with me, to come with me, I couldn't get you to do anything, I am calling other people, right? And if you didn't come with me, and if I have your phone, certainly, I'm calling your parents, your mom, everyone I know. Hey, this is what happened. Elzy is here. She wouldn't come back with us. Somebody needs to track her down ASAP. Whatever. They're just things that should be the natural order when things are right.
When
However,
things are right.
I'm not sure that things are right in this situation.
I have so many questions. So, like, this is supposed to be your friend. This is why you have to choose your friends wisely. And parents, when you allow your child to go places, you're trusting that they're going to be safe. So this is a whole nother animal to address. But my whole thing is, if these are your friends and something happened, as much as everyone loves social media, you can delete your social media page. As soon as all this happens, I didn't see any rest in peace. We love you. We miss you. We're looking for you. I have questions.
There's a lot of questions out there. It's very similar to that, like normal behavior that you would see. It was almost like it was, you know what? This has happened, and now everybody is in protection mode. And for those on the other side, right? It's like, all right, don't put anything on social media. Get a lawyer. Do all of these things that are not natural when there is something that happens to someone in your family or your friend group. Just doesn't seem, or at least to me, that is not how I've seen people behave in the past. It's not how I would behave if I had nothing to do with what's going on right now.
I just feel like someone knows something. But then the larger scale is this. Okay, I grew up in a predominantly white area. I have friends of all colors. And there was a lot of times when I was growing up that I was the only black girl in the group. But I never felt unsafe.
Right.
And obviously my mom was one of those moms that she had to call the parents before you could stay all night.
Oh my goodness. You could stay
all
night.
That good stuff.
You were allowed to stay all night?
With one family. I had one family. I have one family. Yeah, I had one family, and my mom was going to call to see what time we got there, what time we were going to bed, what time we were leaving in the morning. So I had one family, And that was once I was like 8th grade. So, yes, one family. But now, I know everyone's saying, let's not make it a race thing. I think it's hard not to make it a race thing, but it makes me sit back and think now, like, I never really thought about it that in depth because I grew up that way.
Right.
But now I'm like, now that I have a black son, and I love all my friends of all colors, but it does make me think now, like, this is a possibility.
Right. I think they're just general rules. And again, I don't have, if you're a first time listener, I am single with no kids, or viewer for that matter. No biological kids of my own, but I have 6 godchildren who I love dearly, and I believe in my heart that they're mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just think naturally there are things that need to happen when you are a parent dealing with young people, that you need to be talking to them about being safe in general, no matter who they're with.
Right.
When they're not with you. And there's just a level of safety and of concern. We all have different backgrounds. People grow up differently. People view certain things as safe that others don't because of their experiences. And sometimes it's about lived experiences. And that's one, when you get to with a group of people, and listen, as a black person, as a black woman in America, period, or a black person, you're growing up in a lot of situations being one of the few, right? In a group, in a classroom, in a work setting sometimes, depending on where you live geographically.
Right.
And I think anytime your surroundings and who you're surrounded by it may sometimes be unfamiliar, or maybe it's familiar, but you're still, other folks don't look like you. There's a natural level of precaution I think you have to have. And that's not saying that, but you know me, and you know I have my side eye on everybody.
On everybody and
Almost
everything.
in all situations, but especially if I know that when you look at me, I look very different than everybody in my setting, everybody in my surrounding. And when things start to separate and they look a little different, people tend to gravitate to folks that look like them and act like them and behave like them, no matter who you are, what group of people you belong to. And so you always have to be mindful of that.
Absolutely. Well, it makes you pose the question, like, hear me out, viewers and listeners. What are the conversations you're having with your children, regardless of race? Because there's conversations to be had. And what age do you feel like is appropriate to have conversations?
Correct.
So we started having the conversations, obviously age appropriate, as Jackson is 10. But there are conversations to be had across the board. So we would love to know, when did you have the conversation? What kind of conversations did you have? And you see a lot of people of all races speaking out, because I think this is for all people to learn and to educate themselves on how to keep children safe, period.
I would agree.
Now, let's get into the comments, because I know if you're like me, as I was diving into my rabbit hole, you have to go to the comments. But before I get to the comments, I think social media is an unbelievable platform, and it connects friends of different backgrounds, different cultures, socioeconomic all of the things, political views. So, how do you handle people that you kind of grew up with or friends that you've known in the past? Not that you have to agree with everyone on social media, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But how do you handle tough conversations or posts that are posted that you do not agree with?
I think a lot of times, and you know how I feel about this, you have to just keep it moving or block, just remove. I don't really respond. I rarely respond to stuff on social media, even posts that I like. I rarely like them, and it has nothing to do with the individual. It's just a rule, kind of, when I first started it, when social media, like, don't like a bunch of things, don't comment on a bunch of things, and certainly some of the foolishness. It's to get you engaged, to get you involved with it. If I don't like it, I typically scroll past it, or I block or delete, period. And that's the general rule, but sometimes that's becoming increasingly harder to do because there are a lot of ignorant people. And I take that back. There are a lot of willfully ignorant people. Willful ignorance is at an all-time high. I think people just do not, if they have a viewpoint or a stance on a particular person, a particular thing, or philosophy, even when presented with what everybody else sees and knows that it is the opposite of what they have been saying, they will convince themselves, they will find another excuse to validate their views. And I just don't have time for that. I ain't gonna go back and forth with you, right? So for me, I don't really get into the comments. I rarely I read them sometimes, but it's like, okay, yeah, next. They're crazy. And I talk about it with you or with my other friends. I don't really engage on social media.
I don't either. However, a person I grew up with posted a post that I did not agree with Nolan Wells. And I normally would scroll past it. But this particular post hit me different. So I had to respond because I do think there's a responsibility. We can agree to disagree, but also educating people on the viewpoint in which you're coming from, I think is imperative. Now, with that said, I think it's okay that we don't agree.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to engage with you, but it's okay that we don't agree.
Here's the thing. When you're talking about, a responsibility to educate, right? That's what someone who is willing to have the exchange of information, right? The exchange of knowledge. But if you are willfully ignorant, you know these things. They're choosing not to see the other side or empathize with the situation or a person. I don't know that having that back and forth or even trying to educate them is even worth it, because I think they are intentionally not seeing the point, right? And so to go back and forth with them and to get mixed up, it's pointless in a lot of cases. But to your point, when you grow up with someone and you think you know this individual and you realize that they believe things or putting things out in the atmosphere, in the universe, that are just absolutely ridiculous, you feel compelled to respond to that person, which I completely agree. But once you respond to them, then, there's a such thing called remove them.
Well, and I ended up removing them. But what really stuck out to me was the sentence that said, I'm exhausted from the victim mentality that blacks portray. I just couldn't let that go.
That blacks portray. And
That
for
blacks
all those who
portray.
are listening, I'm using air quotes here. Blacks. You know,
I was bothered by that. And it's okay, like I said, can have your own opinion. But at the end of the day, no matter what we agree on, it's about humanity. It's about empathy.
right.
It's about us as a nation. She followed up with the Nolan Wells case should not be about race. Okay, great. You can have your viewpoint. But then she followed with blacks want equality.
I'm so okay.
So everybody should be accountable.
You keep losing me at blacks, not black people, not African American people, but blacks, as if
That's what it
they may
said.
have wanted to replace that word with something else.
Well,
That's
I
kind
don't
of
want
what
to
I
put
hear
anything in the atmosphere. I'm just quoting verbatim what was said. So, I followed up with her about, I agree with accountability, but everyone should have accountability.
100%.
But at the end of the day, as she was referencing the Nolan Wells case, I said to her, even if we put all of that aside, a mother lost their child. So if nothing else, have empathy for a woman that just buried her child. I'm going to get off my soapbox, coach, but that really bothered me. But hear me out, listeners and viewers. How do you handle that? So I did respond. I usually don't go back and forth, but I had time to go back and forth today. And after I went back and forth, then I hit block. So what do you do?
Good for you.
I was proud, but I needed to get that off my chest. I needed to get that off my chest today.
Unfriend. Because I assume it came from Facebook. Unfriend.
Yes, it was an unfriend. Now, I know you have a topic of conversation that you've been excited to discuss. I can't wait to get into it. I already know your viewpoint, but let's talk about it.
All right.
About professionalism, what that looks like, your personal expression versus the reality of what people see or think of you when you dress a certain way.
Okay, so, I think this could be separated into a number of topics, right? When you talk about professionalism and all of that. But let's dive into, because I think it's a bit beyond the scope of even professionalism. The whole do-rags and bonnets. Tuskegee banned their students from wearing bonnets to class anytime they're in public spaces or do-rags. I personally, wherever you stand on this issue, and you already know, I am someone who, the whole wearing pajamas and all of that stuff, I am built for comfort, like I say. I'm built for comfort.
Okay.
If I'm taking my trash out, if I'm doing all of that, that's cool. I personally do not like to see young, old, middle-aged, it doesn't matter, women and girls in stores, movies, in the airport, in bonnets. I just do not like it. I think if your hair's not done, put on a hat, do so. It just doesn't, for me, it doesn't present well at all. Now, if you're on a long flight and you're flying to, I don't know, you're flying 10 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours, overnight or red eye, and you want to protect your hair, on a plane and you want to throw a bonnet on because you're on an overnight flight, sure. But when you get off, when that plane lands, take it off, put on a hat or something. I just do not. I've never liked it. I know some people think it's not a big deal. They should be able to do what they want, but I just don't think it's a good look. Either way it goes, I don't think it's a good look, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, we don't want this in these public spaces. Come to class looking like you are ready to learn. And that doesn't mean you can't learn with the bonnet on or you can't learn with pajamas on. Yeah, maybe you can, but I just don't think it's a good look. I actually am happy with the rule. I don't have any problem with it. And, that's just my opinion.
Well, Coach, I agree. I do not like to see people in bonnets and do-rags out in public. I will agree. That's not the look. I don't personally do it. However, I know people have mixed feelings about this because these students are paying to go to Tuskegee, right?
And here's the thing. I would like to say before you get into your dissertation about it, because I know it's coming. And it probably is a little bit of a double standard, I will admit. Do-rags do not bother me as much. I don't.
That is a double standard.
I agree with it. I just think probably because I see the bonnets more in just my everyday, and it's another woman, so I'm drawn, my eye, it's kind of like when you see a car. If you get a new car and all of a sudden you never really saw people with the car before, and then all of a sudden now every time on the road you're seeing this same car. It's kind of like, now you're kind of looking for it, but I just see bonnets all the time in the grocery store, the mall. I do not understand wearing bonnets in public or really just do any of that stuff, especially to class.
Well, Coach, see, I agree. However, these students are paying to be there. And I know if we're talking about we're banning the do-rags and the bonnets, I mean, we've worked on university campuses. They go to school, class in pajama pants.
I think that should be, I don't think that should be allowed either.
I know, but do you think they should be able to ban that? So if they're attending class that they paid to attend the university, should that be a rule?
Well, I think you're paying to get on an airplane, right? But you can't smoke.
Yeah.
You're paying.
But we're talking about clothing. We're talking about clothing.
Well, you can't wear a certain type of clothing either. You're paying for that flight, but if you get on a flight that says, something crazy on your shirt, you can't wear it.
But is respect determined by clothing? So what if it's a straight A student and she has a bonnet on because she didn't have time to get her hair done, but she's a straight A student?
Baby, you've done a great job. You're doing such a great job. You got all A's. You're perfect. Your performance is great. But let's take this bonnet off, please. Don't wear it to the store. Don't wear it to the class. Don't wear it to the airport. I just don't like them. Again, it doesn't. Yeah.
But it sounds like your expectations are different for women than for men.
No, I don't. I said I don't like them either way. I noticed the bonnets more, and the do-rags don't bother. And maybe because they are flat to your head, and it's almost like a tight-fitted skull. I'm just telling you visually what I see when I see those bonnets shaking around everywhere. No, I don't. No, I don't like either. But the bonnets bother me more than the do-rags do. And again, probably because the do-rags are oftentimes tight to their head, so it's not I don't know, visually. You know how I am about visually.
But I'm curious. Hear me out. What do you guys think? Should a school be able to regulate appearance? Because if they can do that, there might be some other things they need to regulate on college campuses if we want to think about it in the big scope?
I agree.
Or do you think, this is a real question. Is it something, a belief that we kind of inherited growing up that we might have to rethink now? Because we grew up like when you leave the house, you're presentable. My grandma was like, make sure your underwear is clean, your undergarments are clean, your socks are clean. Because if you have to go to the hospital, you have to have clean undergarments and all those things. Maybe it's time to rethink, how or what we think is presentable.
I think all of those things are valid, that you spoke about. Again, I will repeat, I agree with it. I just don't like it. Again, does that dictate what type of person you are in terms of how you treat other people, if you're kind or not? I don't think whether you're wearing a bonnet or not kind of dictates that. I just think I don't think it's a good look. I think if your hair's not done, if you're not happy with it at a particular day, which I wake up all types of days and times with bad hair days, put on a hat, put something on it, but just not a bonnet. I'm just not a bonnet person. And I am in that group of people who feel like they shouldn't be worn in public spaces, or do-rags for that matter, that they shouldn't be worn in public spaces.
Okay, well, hear me out. You have heard it here from Butts. I would love to know what you guys think. Well, as we transition into our 94 feet, if you know, we're going to bring that heat. Today, Coach, is going to be Would You Rather?
All right.
Okay. Would you rather date your celebrity crush or receive $500,000?
$500,000. Give me the $500,000, Alex, please.
But who is your celebrity crush?
I don't really have one, but if I was going to go with anybody, it'd be Idris.
You have a celebrity crush.
I do? Who is it?
That's him.
Is it?
And the basketball player. Don't act like you.
Serge?
Yes.
Serge Ibaka. Oh, he was fine. Yeah. Idris though.
Okay.
But Idris, I love you, baby. We stay at the movies. I can watch you. Give me the $500,000.
Well, since I'm married and I can't date my celebrity crush, I'm gonna go with the $500,000. However,
no, you're not.
If I had a chance and I wasn't married to my lovely husband and I had a chance to date my celebrity crush,
I already know who it is.
Boris, where are you?
Coach.
You already know.
I know you love Boris.
Okay, would you rather know everyone's opinion of you or nobody's?
Nobody's.
I think I agree. Nobody's. Would you rather be famous or financially free?
Financially free. That is so easy. Financially free. Give the fame to someone else.
And this was going to be so easy for you. Would you rather be overdressed or underdressed?
Under. 100%. It's not even close.
See, for me, I would rather be overdressed.
Under.
I don't want to get anywhere and feel like everyone is dressed up and I did not dress for the occasion. I would rather overdress every time.
Underdressed. I get the whole deal. Now, if I'm going to a formal, I'm supposed to be at a black tie or something, and I didn't know I was going to be at like, if you don't know, in that situation, you're looking around going, ooh. But in any other situation, just like regular people have, give me the under. I'm good. Walking into a restaurant, everybody in the party is nice slacks and skirts and blouses, and I come in and I don't have that on, I'm cool. Give me the under every time.
Of
But I don't
course.
walk into a black tie affair underdress. So I guess it's kind of situational, but everyday life under.
We understand. We know. Okay, would you rather lose your phone for 1 week or social media forever?
Lose my phone for 1 week or social media forever. Lose my phone. Lose my phone.
Oh, I could lose social media forever.
I could lose it forever, but it's only 1 week. You didn't say lose your phone forever. So I would say, you think about it. We share our podcast on social media. So if we give that up forever for 1 week of a phone, now if you say lose your phone forever or lose social media forever, I'm losing social media.
I understand. Okay. Be brutally honest or always politically correct?
Ooh, I think I definitely want to be honest. The key word though.
It said brutally.
I know, because that
brutally honest.
That to me sometimes that's an intentional hurt.
Or politically correct.
I'd rather be politically correct.
I agree, politically correct, because you don't know how the brutally honest is going to affect someone.
Right.
Would you rather know the truth even if it hurts or never know?
Ooh, tell me the truth.
Yes.
Tell me
the truth. Yes, tell me the truth. Last one. Would you rather start over at 25 or relive the best year of your life?
The best year. Or start over with my entire life at 25? Man, I've had some really good years. All of my years have been good. I don't know if I want to start over though. Just let me relive the best year of my life. That's starting over.
Yeah.
25. I
25.
got tired thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm going to relive the best year. Well, it's been fun to do another episode. Hear me out. Make sure you hit us on social media, like, retweet, subscribe, hit us in the comments. We want to know some of your thoughts. Want to leave you with this. Protect your peace, but don't isolate yourself from growth.
That's a really good one. We all must continue to grow. The end.
Signing out.
Real talk, we don't play around. Hit that play, let the truth come out. Stay tuned in, stay tuned.